Okay, my name is Anuj. I'll just so basically we'll have this session divided into a few areas. We are going to talk about what's the structure of the course in terms of what's the length, how we are going to have the sessions and stuff. And lastly, we'll have a quick demo of the overall tool. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss. Okay. So my name is Anuj. I've been so I have around 7 years of experience into data analytics, business intelligence technologies such as Power BI, Tableau, and SQL, and data engineering technologies such as SSIS, Informatica, Alteryx. Uh, Apart from this, have been working with Mastercard from last few years, and previously I was working with ZAS and with Nitor, and that's where my experience comes in. Okay. Now, speaking about this course, I'll just talk about a few minutes for this course in terms of what's the length, what are the course contents that we are going to cover. So basically, we are going to cover. So the course content will be of 32 hours, divided into 8 hours each. So basically, first 8 hours will be learning about SQL. So basically, people generally, when they want to go for Power BI interviews, they get stumped when they are asked SQL questions. उनको SQL questions के answers नहीं बनते. तो for the interview preparation and in general also we'll have SQL का training for first few hours, and then once we are done with SQL we'll start with Power BI. So the Power BI will have first 8 hours dedicated to the introduction of few concepts. So I'll be teaching you what all concepts we have in Power BI in terms of Power Query, Power Pivot, and the visuals part. And then in the last, so that takes care of the next 8 hours, and then the last remaining 16 hours, we're going to do projects. So basically, which will be industry level projects, which will involve various concepts in Power BI, such as data modeling, Power Query, Power Pivot, and stuff like that. Okay, so that's the overall course content that's divided. Okay. Uh, so that's about the course. Uh, any questions so far, guys? Okay, all right. So speaking about the same course content, we'll have the course divided into 32 hours of 8 hours each. So first 8 hours will be providing you guys like a hands-on on SQL. So basically, what kind of SQL commands does we have? What are stored procedures, views, indexes, triggers, functions, right? And then the basic SQL like create, alter, delete, update, and stuff like that. So that's there. Speaking of the next content, we'll switch to Power BI, wherein in the first 8 hours, I'll be introducing you to various concepts in Power BI. And then we'll go on to do an actual project, which will give you a hands-on learning about it. So Power BI will contain DAX, and then the other functions that I use the security bookmark and whatnot. Uh, Mind you, this is not a this is not kind of a training wherein I will be sharing my screen and you guys just come to the session and look at the screen which I'm presenting. That's not how it will work. It's not a YouTube video which or a live session. It will be more focused on your learnings. So basically, I will do my introduction of concepts, or whether it's SQL or Power BI, maybe for 2 or 3 sessions. And for all of the other things, so whenever I'm teaching, whenever we are doing projects, whenever we are doing SQL assignments, whenever we are learning SQL, it's going to be your own screen sharing. So you will be sharing the screen in all these training sessions, and you will be doing parallelly on while we are in the session. So it will be a live learning. It's not like I will be teaching those concepts and you will go back and practice those in your time. So that's not how it will work. Uh, the reason for that, what we have seen so far, is people generally take these sessions for granted, even when they pay their fee, and they end up with a loss. Say they don't understand things, or they don't complete the assignments on time. So we don't want to do that. So that's the structure of the session. So if I talk about SQL, I'll be introducing you to various SQL concepts in first 2 or 3 sessions, and for the rest of the SQL sessions, it's you guys who will be practicing those concepts on your machine while we are in the live session. Okay. You can ask any questions and stuff. So that's how it will go. So that's the structure. So if anybody is expecting that I don't, so the requirements will be to have a laptop which supports a Windows machine or a so it should support a Windows machine, and then we can have those software installed. Like I'll share the list of softwares for you to learn. So that's the structure for the course. Uh, so that's about the course. Any questions, guys, before I move ahead? Vinash, Avi, Mayank, I think you
Yeah,
guys have
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there's some distraction from Avinash. Hello.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I have question here. So
Yeah.
Anuj, after having these courses, for the 32 hours, as you said. So will you guys also be helping in shaping the CVs and putting the content like we had a prior experience of working at a little bit of like SQL plus Power BI also?
We will be. So basically, it will be, so you will have support for creating your CVs for Power BI related roles or SQL related roles. That will be there, and there will be mock screening for all you guys, like mock interviews, wherein I will
Okay.
be taking like a live interview based on whatever we have learned or what is typically asked in these interviews.
Okay, great, great, great. Okay, okay. So Anuj, just one quick question. How many projects will be covering under this course? I mean, probably when I say I'm talking about capstone project.
So we'll be covering two projects as
Okay.
a part of our course. So as I mentioned, first 8 hours will be SQL. Out of those 32 hours, second 8 hours will be introduction about Power BI concepts. So
Okay.
that's the next 2 hours. Next 8 hours. Remaining 16 hours, we'll do two projects. So one project will be of around 4 to 5 sessions, or maybe 4 to 5 hours, and in the remaining 10 hours or 11 hours, we'll do another project. Uh, there'll be two projects. So first project will be of easy to medium level difficulty, or not difficulty. It's about the application of various features or concepts in Power BI. Second project is going to be like a advanced level project wherein we learn about all the nitty gritties and individual concepts in more depth.
Okay. 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 So any other, I mean, projects from various industries like manufacturing. So what sectors are you covering, Anuj, under these two projects?
So we'll be covering one sector that's there is healthcare. We'll be
Okay.
covering healthcare slash pharma. So that's project number one. And
Okay.
project number two will be your retail supply chain project. So those will be the two sectors.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Anuj. Thanks, Anuj, for your.
Hi.
Yes, Sharayu.
Yeah. How SQL is related with the Power BI?
So SQL is basically a query language which is used to retrieve data from the databases. Okay, so there are databases like Oracle, Redshift, and other. Now,
Hmm.
how it is related to Power BI is Power BI is a tool which helps you represent your data in a most visually appealing format. So it tells a story out of your data. So let's assume you have a database table which has information like employee, what is his salary, what is the age, which department he belongs to, right?
Hmm.
And you have like 30,000, 40,000 employees in your organization. You are supposed to make a report, or your management asks you how, tell me the breakdown of employee who have salary between salary in these brackets like 10,000 to 20,000, 20,000 to 30,000, right? So instead of giving them like a whole table of employee, we can quickly put it in a pie chart which shows there are 50 employees with 10,000 to 20,000 salary. There are 60 employees with 20,000 to 30,000 salary. So a pie chart can represent that information in a better manner, in a story manner, in a visual manner. Now, to connect your Power BI to SQL, you need something called as a SQL query, which can help you transform your data, which can help you query your data, which can help you optimize your data even before it's pulled into Power BI. So if say there are nuances like you have like 10 years worth of data in your database, you just want it for 2 years, but you don't want other anything else. So SQL is very handy when it comes to restricting the kind of years that you want, or writing some custom logics like stored procedures, triggers, indexes, and stuff. So it is important, and even in your interviews or any migrations you are doing across your careers, SQL is mandatory in your Power BI interviews. There will be no interview which will just focus on Power BI. If even if they come for ask you for Power BI, they will ask you SQL in those interviews. So SQL is mandatory.
Okay, and what about the PL sequel?
So SQL has versions, okay? PL SQL is one version, then normal SQL is one version. So I would say it's just a difference between the syntaxes. It's not like PL SQL has a very different application than SQL. Both are meant to do the same thing, but PL SQL operates on Oracle database, SQL operates on SQL, Microsoft databases. So that's the difference. So there's just a difference of syntax here and there, but otherwise, majorly concepts are same.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Any other questions, guys, related to the course content or so basically I'll cover the course content in a while, but any other questions?
Hi, hi.
Yes, sir.
Uh, yeah, is there any freeware tools for doing assignments? Means we can install in our laptop for practicing.
Yeah, there are a few tools which you can use. I'll mention that in the session uh, once we start. That. So there will be a few. So there will be there'll be like a document that I'll be giving you guys, which will have all the assignments listed, and it will also have the links for those softwares to be installed for free. There is a trick to get it for free. Otherwise, it will ask you for a payment. But yeah, we'll basically have a few softwares which wherein you can do SQL assignments using like setting up a SQL server on the machine and stuff. So we will provide that to you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Amol.
Yeah. So I just want to ask, Power BI is completely depend on SQL.
No, I won't say that. Power BI is not completely dependent on SQL. SQL is one component of it. While you connect to data, so for example, if you are connecting to Oracle database or databases like the Redshift or anything, will it will ask you whether you want to write a query or on the database before you pull data. If
So
you
in the
connect,
sequence, in the sequence of Power BI and SQL, which tool we have to learn first? Is the SQL or Power BI? Or,
it's SQL that we will learn first, and then we'll learn Power BI.
okay. In this course, in your course, you will be learn only Power BI with the SQL.
Sorry.
You teaching the Power BI or SQL or both?
So I will be teaching both. So the first 8 hours will be on SQL, and then we'll
Okay.
start with Power BI.
Okay. Okay. Cool then. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, cool. I think then we will start with our demo today. Okay. So I'll just be talking about a few concepts that will be learned. It's not the exhaustive list. Uh, but we'll just jot down what all concepts we are going to learn as a part of our process. Okay, and there'll be the entire project. So in general trainings, what people do, they just teach you the concepts. We'll not do that. We'll do application of those concepts so that you know why and where we use these concepts. Okay. So as the course is divided into two sections, one is SQL and another is Power BI. We'll learn how to create data tables, how to update them, how to delete data. Okay, how Basically, we can insert new data. Then we learn about having clause, where clause in SQL. We learn about joins. We learn about unions. We learn about intersect. We learn about minus operator. Okay, and then we learn about stored procedures. Then we learn about views, and then lastly we have something called as indexes, uh, triggers, and a few other concepts. Okay, so that's we'll also learn about functions in SQL. What are those concepts? How they work? What is the application? Everything will be covered in the course itself. Coming to Power BI, we'll have Power BI is divided into three main components. The first is Power Query. This helps you modify the data. Second is Power Pivot. This helps you set up relationships between data. Now, I may sound too technical here, but keep so since this is like very new for you guys, so it's okay to not understand these terminologies. And third is your visualization screen, wherein you create visualizations. Okay, so this is about the Power BI as a part. Okay, so as a part of these, we'll also cover two projects wherein we'll have first project as an easy project, which will be on healthcare, comma pharma, and second project will have basically on retail. Okay, so that's there. Uh, this is the course content. Now I'll switch to a window wherein I'll talk about a process of a data. So a Power BI project, okay? So or a life cycle of a Power BI project. So you might wonder, okay, why Power BI, right? So I'll just talk about that for a bit, and then we'll see if time permits, we'll have a demo of Power BI as well. Okay. So I'll switch to Paint, and I'll talk about what is Power BI and why Power BI. Okay. So even before I switch to Paint, let me quickly walk you through one of the reports that are created in Power BI. So let me open a quick report, and I'll start sharing my screen again. I hope you can see my screen. So this is, let's say, customer analysis report. So this is a Power BI gallery website which hosts different reports which are created by world users across the world. And if they find that their report is beautiful and they want people to look at it, they can visit this website to publish their reports online so that people across the world can access those reports. Uh, I'll just try to open one of the reports. It seems there is some server error which is not allowing these reports to load up. So I may try to show you something else, maybe. Yeah, so these are not opening up. So I'll say Power BI public reports, and we'll switch to another site. Um, okay, let me show you an image before, if not a Power BI report. Okay. So basically this, okay. If you can see this, let me try to open this image in a new tab if that's possible. So if you see this, this is a retail analysis sample dashboard. So it has this year's sales compared to last year's sales. Then this year's sales, how much is the total sales? What are the total number of stores that are selling my product? Then how many new stores opened in this product? What is this year's sales again? Store opened this year versus store opened last year. Sales per square feet, like which area has the maximum sales? And then we have map visuals which show uh, sales in terms of bubbles. So if greater the size, greater the bubble size. So greater the sales, greater the bubble size. Something like that. Okay. So how this basically helps. So how Power BI helps is it represents your data in a story format or in a visual format so that it's easily interpretable. Assume that you have your data in a format like a tabular format, like you just have rows and columns. I'll talk about that in a bit. But assume you had your data in a tabular format uh, across all the months, which has January sales as 22,000, for February sales as 14,000 and stuff like that. So it's very difficult to comprehend. So I would uh, let me quickly open the a table. So basically, in a data analytics or data and engineering or Power BI world or anything related to business intelligence, so all this uh, space which is related to data analytics is called as business intelligence. Okay, so here we typically store data in a format of a table. So what table generally means is you generally have information in this format. You have some rows and you have some columns. So I'll say, let's say I take an example of employee ID, then his name, salary, his manager's ID, and then his department, like which department he belongs to. Okay. Uh, Before I move ahead, just let me know, is everybody comfortable with English? कुछ किसी को कुछ like semi English, semi हिंदी में करना है तो please let me know. Don't feel shy. अगर कुछ ऐसे करना है तो we can talk. Okay. So we'll have employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. ठीक है. और नेम में रहेगा लेट्स से एम्प्लॉय 1, इसको मैं बोलता हूँ, इसको मैं एक्चुअली फॉर्मूला में डाल देता हूँ, जैसे कॉनकैट से एम्प्लॉय एंड देन oops, I have this guy, so I have it as okay. I just typed employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4, employee 5, employee 6. Okay. And then you have salaries such as 10,000, sorry, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,500, 6,000, 6,500, and stuff like that. Okay. Then you have manager's IDs for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then department has sales, sales, marketing, marketing, and then IT, IT, and IT. Okay. So assume you have information like this. You just supposed to show information कि मेरे सबसे ज़्यादा employees किस table में. So from this I can easily so अभी ये data छोटा सा है तो it's very easy to identify कि मेरे maximum employees are part of IT department. फिर मेरे कुछ employees है जो sales में है, कुछ employees जो है marketing में. So it's easy to understand. But assume you put it in a chart format. ठीक है, अगर आप इसको पाई चार्ट फॉर्मेट में दिखाते हो, ठीक है. Let me see if this works. Okay, no, it doesn't work. So basically अगर पाई चार्ट में मैं इसको दिखाता हूँ तो it's very easy to comprehend. Basically पाई चार्ट में क्या दिखेगा, मेरे को ये ऐसा सर्कल बनेगा which will have pies in three different colors for each department. कि मेरे डिपार्टमेंट सेल्स में 2 एम्प्लॉयज है, मार्केटिंग में 2 एम्प्लॉयज है और मैक्सिमम एम्प्लॉयज आईटी में, तो देयर विल बी 3 पार्ट्स. ओके. So that makes it very easy for me to understand मेरा organization का structure. ठीक है, या फिर take any other data set as well. It makes it very easy to understand the data. So similar thing is used in industry level projects. So we typically use a data in this typical format, a tabular format, to generate reports like these. तो इस data से हमारे ये reports बनते हैं. ठीक है. आपने देखा होगा Myntra. Let's talk about Myntra. So everybody has used Myntra over here. Is there anyone who has not used it? Right. So it's a platform to order clothes online, right? तो ये लोग क्या करते हैं? You must have seen in your app that there are offers like SBI credit card. You have 10% off. ICICI credit card you have 5% off. Access credit card you have 5% off. तो होता क्या है कि the Myntra advertisement team or offers team, they have access to your information that you have uploaded in your Myntra app. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? हम लोग जाके Myntra पे we store our information in terms of what kind of credit card do we have. or what kind of debit card do we have, right? What they do is they take this data and they analyze that data. How do they analyze that? So let me create another table here, which says, say, user ID, user name, then credit card number, and issuer bank, right? And say location and number of orders placed historically in history. Okay. So let's say you have users such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A, B, C, D नाम दे देते हैं. A, B, C, D, E and F. Okay. So इसको बोलते हैं address, not location. A double D R E double S. Then you have credit card as X. Credit card number मैं कुछ ले लेता हूँ. ये ऐसे कुछ 001, ऐसे कुछ 002, ठीक है, and so on so forth. Okay. Okay. Issuer bank मैं इसको बोलता हूँ SBI, 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 ICICI, Access and Kotak. Okay. Then address is location 1, location 2, location 3. Okay, stuff like that. And number of orders मैं बोल देता हूँ कि 10 ऑर्डर दिए, 50 ऑर्डर दिए, 40, 20, 12 एंड 13. ठीक है. नाउ अभी हुआ क्या, एक ये कस्टमर 6 का ही हैज चेंज हिज लोकेशन, सो 6F, और इसका लोकेशन चेंज होके लोकेशन 7 पे चले गए. ठीक है, तो ये एक अलग रो बन गया. ठीक है, तो विल से वी हैव दिस पर्टिकुलर डेटा विथ मिंत्रा. सो व्हाट यू गाइस हैव डन इज, तुम लोग ने अपने अपने ऐप से मिंत्रा में स्टोर करके रखा है क्रेडिट कार्ड या डेबिट कार्ड, और बोल रहे हो कि ये सारा ये इन्फॉर्मेशन, तो मिंत्रा की टीम को इस इन्फॉर्मेशन का एक्सेस है. व्हाट दे अंडरस्टैंड इज कि SBI क्रेडिट कार्ड सबसे ज्यादा यूजर्स के पास है, सो इट मेक सेंस टू गो गिव मोर ऑफर्स ऑन SBI क्रेडिट कार्ड्स. ऐसे तो होगा नहीं कि किसी के पास एक्सिस का क्रेडिट कार्ड एक ही बंदे के पास है और एक्सिस के क्रेडिट कार्ड को ही वो लोग ऑफर्स देना चाहते हैं. नो, दे विल नॉट डू दैट. इट्स दे लुक एट देयर प्रॉफिट. अगर ज्यादा ऑफर्स ज्यादा लोगों को देंगे तो इट्स हाईली लाइकली कि वो ज्यादा ऑफर्स ज्यादा ऑर्डर्स करेंगे. ठीक है, सो this makes it very easy for people, Mintra's advertisement team, to analyze this data, right? So this is overall called as data analysis. So they have information like this and they put it in a graph format using tools like Power BI, जिससे ये visual format में आपको information represent होता है इस particular format में, right? So we'll learn how to do that in the session, but this is just to give why Power BI is used. तो इस data को हम लोग Power BI में इस format में represent कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, so that's about the why part of it. So the various organizations use Power BI to analyze their data or showcase a story using through their data. Okay. Now I'll talk about the life cycle of a Power BI project. Okay, or any data analytics project. So I'll say यहाँ पे life cycle of Power BI या फिर Tableau projects. So यहाँ पे ये मत कंसीडर ना Tableau क्या है. I'll remove Tableau. Okay. So basically Tableau is just similar tool for Power BI. Okay. I'll break these into a few sections. So basically you have your last section wherein you will use tools like Power BI. इस सेक्शन को बोलते हैं रिपोर्टिंग. ठीक है, रिपोर्टिंग मतलब आपके डेटा को रिपोर्ट करना. कैसे करते हैं ये हम लोग, इसके लिए यूज करते हैं पावर BI रिपोर्टिंग के लिए. दूसरा टूल हम यूज करते हैं Tableau, which is a competitor to Power BI. Again, other tools are MicroStrategy. You have your other few Logi Info, for example. There are n number of tools. So लास्ट स्टेज जो होता है आपका लाइफ साइकिल में किसी पावर BI या डेटा एनालिटिक्स प्रोजेक्ट में, वो होता है रिपोर्टिंग. कोई भी डेटा अगर आप कंज्यूम करते हो, कोई भी डेटा आप कंज्यूम करते हो तो उसको फाइनली वो जाके रिपोर्ट होता है यूजिंग सम सॉर्ट ऑफ Tableau, Power BI इन इन द रिपोर्टिंग टूल्स में, ठीक है। सो रिपोर्टिंग इज द लास्ट स्टेज ऑफ योर projects and remove Power BI. So this is a life cycle of a data analytics project instead of Power BI project. Okay. So अब ये जो डेटा है, ये जो मैंने बताया यहाँ पे, ये आता कहाँ से? तो आप लोग ने क्या किया, मिंत्रा के ऐप में आपने अपने क्रेडिट कार्ड स्टोर करके रखे इन अ फॉर्मेट लाइक दिस कि यूजर मतलब शायद फॉर एग्जांपल मयंक जाके स्टोर करता है, उस क्रेडिट कार्ड एसबीआई का है, वो जाके स्टोर करता है इन इन मिंत्राज ऐप, ठीक है। फिर सेकेंडली यू हैव अवी who goes and stores his credit card information, Rishi goes and stores his credit card information, Rahul goes and stores his credit card information. Similarly, Salil, Sharayu, Sonu and Yogeshwari share their respective credit card information and their locations. Okay. अब होता क्या है, ये सारा डेटा बहुत ही रॉ फॉर्मेट में, ठीक है। तो आई विल से द फर्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ योर डेटा एनालिटिक्स प्रोजेक्ट, ठीक है, इज योर डेटा गैदरिंग। तो ये जो प्रोसेस है जो मिंत्रा कर रहा है आपका इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करने का, इज कॉल्ड एज डेटा गैदरिंग। सो आई विल नेम दिस स्टेज एज डेटा गैदरिंग स्टेज, ठीक है। इस स्टेज में क्या होता है, आपका डेटा बहुत ही रॉ फॉर्मेट में होता है, ठीक है। मतलब अगर आप समझ लो कि मेरे को सिर्फ अगर मेरे को डिस्टिंक्ट मेरे को पता करना है कि मेरे मिंत्रा के ऐप में जितने भी यूजर्स हैं उनके पास किस किस टाइप के क्रेडिट कार्ड्स हैं, तो मेरे को ना ये सारे 6-7 रोज प्रोसेस करने पड़ेंगे जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि मेरे पास 3 टाइप के यूजर, 3 या 4 बैंक्स हैं जिनके क्रेडिट कार्ड है। आई डोंट वांट, अभी तो समझ लो मेरे पास 6 ही रिकॉर्ड है। अज्यूम कर लो मेरे पास, मेरा बिजनेस बड़ा हो जाता है, मेरे पास जैसे 50 लाख लोग हैं जो ऑर्डर करते हैं, उसमें से मेरे को अगर देखना है कि मेरे पास कितने टाइप के क्रेडिट कार्ड्स हैं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा कितने होंगे, 10, 12, 15, एसबीआई, आईसीआईसीआई क्रेडिट, कोटक और अदर बैंक्स, तो उससे मेरे को 50 लाख रोज प्रोसेस करनी पड़ रही है जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि मेरे पास कितने इशूअर के बैंक्स है, ठीक है, विच इज नॉट द ऑप्टिमल वे ऑफ डूइंग इट, ठीक है। तो ये जो फर्स्ट स्टेज है डेटा गैदरिंग, इसके बाद एक स्टेज आता है डेटा वेयर हाउसिंग, ठीक है, आपने नाम सुना होगा डेटा वेयर हाउस, ठीक है। विल गेट टू डेटा वेयर हाउस व्हाट इट इज, बट ये जो स्टेज है इसकी मैं बात कर रहा था डेटा गैदरिंग। सो टू स्टोर डेटा इन द फॉर्मेट लाइक दिस, what Myntra does or what any organization does, they store it in the raw format, मतलब जैसा आया वैसे डंप किया। तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, रेडशिफ्ट या फिर ओरेकल या फिर SQL सर्वर या फिर 1010 डेटा, ये कोई भी डेटा बेस पकड़ लो, दे स्टोर इट इन अ रॉ फॉर्मेट, मतलब उसमें कोई प्रोसेसिंग नहीं करते, जो यूजर ने इंसर्ट कर दिया वो जाके डंप कर देते हैं। तो इसको बोलते हैं स्टेजिंग एनवायरनमेंट, ठीक है। स्टेजिंग एनवायरनमेंट का मतलब क्या है, यहाँ पे डेटा जस्ट ला के डंप किया जाता है, उसमें कोई क्लीनिंग नहीं होती, कोई प्रोसेसिंग नहीं होती, ठीक है। अब वंस ऑल द डेटा इज प्रेजेंट, ये लोग क्या करते हैं, इसका एक डेटा वेयर हाउस बनाते हैं जिसमें डेटा ऑप्टिमल फॉर्मेट में स्टोर होता है, ठीक है। आई टॉक अबाउट अ डेटा वेयर हाउस नाउ। सो व्हेन आई से कि ऑप्टिमल फॉर्मेट में स्टोर करते हैं, व्हाट डू आई मीन? अज्यूम कर लो कि आप डीमार्ट जा रहे हो या फिर किसी भी सुपर स्टोर जा रहे हो। अज्यूम कर लो आपका एक सामान का ट्रक आता है या फिर गुड्स का ट्रक आता है, एंड वो लोग उस डीमार्ट के स्टोर में उसको लोड करते हैं। अज्यूम कर लो कि आपके जैसे सेक्शंस डिवाइडेड होते हैं कि फूड्स का एक सेक्शन होता है, बिस्किट्स का एक सेक्शन होता है, क्लोथ्स का एक सेक्शन होता है, योर डॉर्मेटरीज का अलग सेक्शन होता है, एंड सो ऑन, फुटवेयर्स का अलग सेक्शन होता है, राइट। अब सोचो अगर ये सारे प्रोडक्ट्स या फिर ये सारी चीजें हैं, अगर वो सारी मिक्सड अप होती है, एक सेक्शन में आप जा रहे हो वहां पे फूड मिल रहा है, क्लोथिंग मिल रही है, पता नहीं कहाँ पे सॉर्टेड, मतलब आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि कौन सी चीज के लिए मैं कहाँ जाऊँ। क्लोथिंग मेरे को अगर ढूंढना है तो मैं कौन से सेक्शन में जाके देखूँ, आधे क्लोथ्स एक सेक्शन में पड़े हुए, आधे क्लोथ्स दूसरे सेक्शन में पड़े हुए, तो ये कितना डिफिकल्ट होगा टू फॉर अ बायर टू फाइंड थिंग्स, राइट। And that's exactly what a warehouse, that's exactly what a warehouse means. warehouse में क्या होता है, चीजें स्टोर करी जाती है इन द मोस्ट ऑप्टिमल फॉर्मेट, मतलब क्लोथिंग आपका क्लोथिंग कैटेगरी में रहेगा, फूड आपका फूड कैटेगरी में रहेगा, चॉकलेट्स आपके चॉकलेट्स की अलग कैटेगरी में रहेंगे, राइट। एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ। आपके अगर किराना आप परचेस करने जा रहे हो, उसका एक अलग होल टुगेदर सेक्शन रहेगा, राइट। पैकेज्ड फूड्स विल बी स्टोर्ड इन अ डिफरेंट सेक्शन। So all this sectioning thing is called as data warehouse, ठीक है। तो ये लोग क्या करते हैं, they pull data from this raw data and load it into a data warehouse in a optimal format. ठीक है. व्हाट इज एन ऑप्टिमल फॉर्मेट? तो आई टॉक अबाउट द ऑप्टिमल फॉर्मेट नाउ. तो ये जो हमने डेटा का एग्जांपल लिया था, यूजर आईडी, क्रेडिट कार्ड, इश्यूर बैंक, मैंने आपको यहाँ पे बोला था कि अगर मेरे 50 लाख कस्टमर्स बनते हैं तो इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी टू जस्ट फाइंड कि मेरे कितने इश्योर बैंक्स. अगर 15-16 इश्योर बैंक्स है तो मैं 50 लाख रोज क्यों प्रोसेस करूं? मतलब इतने सारे अगर रोज बन जाएंगे मेरे, तो मैं सिर्फ इतना 15 रोज का इंफॉर्मेशन निकालने के लिए 50 लाख रोज क्यों प्रोसेस करूं? So what these guys in the data analytics space do is they divide this raw data into a logical chunks. So what are those logical chunks? So first logical chunk is your user table. So I'll say this, I'll name this table as user, or I'll name this table as dim underscore user. ठीक है. इसमें क्या रहेगा? आपका user information रहेगा. So I'll say user ID and user name. ठीक है. इतना ही इंफॉर्मेशन रहेगा, बाकी कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है. I will remove this two columns as well. उनकी जरूरत नहीं है. अब इसमें क्या रहेगा? आपका यूजर ने यूजर आईडी और यूजर नेम. सो सिंस वी ओनली हैव 6 यूजर्स अंटिल 6, ठीक है, तो ऐसे 6 रोज रहेंगे. माइंड यू यहाँ पे 2 6 के रोज थे क्योंकि यहाँ पे उसने एड्रेस चेंज किया था. बट आवर डिम यूजर टेबल विल बी यूनिक, मतलब इट विल बी क्लीन्ड. उसमें डुप्लीकेट एंट्रीज नहीं रहेंगे, कुछ भी नहीं रहेगा, ताकि जो भी ऑप्टिमल डेटा रहे. मतलब जब भी मैं एक्सेस करना चाहूँ मेरा यूजर लिस्ट, आई डोंट हैव टू प्रोसेस, डू अ लॉट ऑफ प्रोसेसिंग. मेरे को जितने यूजर्स है उतने ही रोज मिलेंगे. ठीक है. सेकेंड लॉजिकल टेबल दैट दे क्रिएट इज डिम क्रेडिट कार्ड फॉर यूजर. ठीक है. अब मैं ये डिम क्यों लिख रहा हूँ ये भी मैं आपको थोड़ी देर में बताऊंगा. So dim credit card. So what does dim credit card will have? Dim credit card will have the user ID of your Myntra user, and then it will have the credit card number of your Myntra user. So let's say card number. So this guy six has 2 credit cards, and then the last will be your issuer bank. Issuer bank. Okay. So the issuer bank will be SBI, Kotak and stuff like that. ठीक है. So this will be your other logical chunk. तो ये इसके साथ mix नहीं होगा. So username information will not be part of your credit card table. ठीक है. These two tables will be linked through user ID column. तो user ID को user ID से connect करके we can say कि A के पास ये SBI का credit card, B के पास SBI का credit card है, F के पास Kotak के credit card है, वो भी 2. ठीक है. तो this is dim credit card user. ठीक है. Then we have the location table. So I'll say dim location. Okay. Dim location में क्या रहेगा? User ID रहेगा और उसका एड्रेस रहेगा. अब जो एम्प्लॉय 6 है उसने लोकेशन चेंज किया, मतलब लोकेशन 6 पे वो पहले वो रहता था, अभी लोकेशन 7 पे चले गया. तो आई विल हैव अ फ्लैग व्हिच सेज इनएक्टिव for location 6 and active for location 7. Sorry, active for this location. और similarly ये सारे locations बाकी इसके लिए रहेंगे. I'll say flag active location, मतलब वो किस location पे active है. ठीक है. So ये रहेगा आपका dim location. इसमें आपका information रहेगा कि कौन सा user की location अभी क्या है. ठीक है. It will not be mixed up with other things. ठीक है. And then we have एक orders table which has number of which has information like user ID. So basically ये information उसका order number कि कौन सा उसका order number है, मतलब basically जो भी होगा से XYZ_1 उसने जितने भी orders historically place किया. फिर रहेगा date, किस date को उसने place किया वो order. So Jan 22 for example, right? So this kind of information. ठीक है. तो ये और फिर क्या आइटम ऑर्डर किया था, प्रोडक्ट की या प्रोडक्ट नेम, ये सब इंफॉर्मेशन रहेगा. ठीक है. इस टेबल को बोलते हैं फैक्ट. फैक्ट मतलब क्या है कि जैसे या और प्रोडक्ट की प्राइस, प्रोडक्ट यहाँ पे इसको प्रोडक्ट की प्राइस. ठीक है. फैक्ट एंड डिम. सो देयर आर 2 कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ठीक है. डेटा वेयरहाउस में क्या होता है कि डिमेंशन टेबल के देयर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ टेबल. वन इज डिमेंशन, अनदर इज फैक्ट. डिमेंशन क्या होता है? आपको आपके एट्रीब्यूट्स रहते हैं. एक यूजर की इंफॉर्मेशन अगर है उस टेबल में तो वो डिमेंशन टेबल हो गया. क्रेडिट कार्ड की इन्फॉर्मेशन है तो डिमेंशन टेबल हो गया। स्ट्रिंग बेसिकली स्ट्रिंग या फिर टेक्स्ट टाइप के वैल्यूज है तो डिमेंशन टेबल होता है। अगर आपके टेबल में आपके है प्रोडक्ट प्राइस इंफॉर्मेशन जिसको जिसको सम अप कर सकते हैं, या फिर नंबर ऑफ ऑर्डर्स, इससे नंबर ऑफ ऑर्डर्स निकाल सकते हैं, तो मतलब जो मेजरेबल वैल्यूज जिनको सम कर सकते हो वो फैक्ट टेबल रहता है, ठीक है, ये याद रखना। सो दिस इज द लॉजिक और दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर विच दीज गाइज डिवाइड योर डेटा इन, मतलब थोड़ा लॉजिकल स्ट्रक्चर दे देते हैं और फिर इस डेटा को बहुत ईजी हो जाता है मेरे को ट्रैवर्स करना, ठीक है। अब मेरे को 50 लाख रोज अगर मेरे को प्रोसेस करनी पड़ती बेस्ड ऑन ऑर्डर्स, क्योंकि अगर एक कस्टमर कितने भी बार ऑर्डर कर सकता है तो मेरे रोज बहुत बढ़ जाते। इंस्टेड आई कैन डू द जस्ट क्वेरी दिस डिम क्रेडिट कार्ड टेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि मेरे कितने इश्यूअर बैंक्स हैं, एंड दैट विल रिटर्न द डेटा, क्योंकि इसमें डेटा वॉल्यूम काफी कम है, सो दैट्स द डेटा वेयर हाउसिंग। So all this process of transforming this data into this particular structure and then connecting it by user ID is called as data warehousing, ठीक है। तो यहां से यहां लेके आना इसको बोलते हैं ETL, मतलब extract, sorry, I'll just erase this, sorry for the bad handwriting, इसको बोलते हैं extract, transform and load। यहां से यहाँ पे लेके आना। अब इसमें टूल्स होते हैं यूज SSIS, इन्फॉर्मेटिका, ऑल्ट्रिक्स और वैसे कुछ, ठीक है। और फिर हमारा जाके बनता है डेटा वेयरहाउस, जिसमें आपको मैंने डेटा वेयरहाउस का भी बताया कि इट इज यूज फॉर ऑप्टिमल स्टोरेज, ठीक है, ताकि सबको सब डेटा मिले ना, मतलब एक्सेस नहीं रहे या फिर इजीली डेटा प्रोसेस हो जाए। एंड देन लास्टली यू पॉइंट योर रिपोर्टिंग विच इज योर पावर BI या फिर टैबलू या फिर कोई भी सोल्यूशन, you connect it to your data warehouse to create those reports. So stage 1 is data gathering, stage 2 is creating a data warehouse, and stage 3 will be reporting. तो हम लोग अपना training will be focused on Power BI. It's not focused on any of these other stages. Power BI में हम ये डेटा आपको बना बनाया मिलेगा डेटा वेयरहाउस तक के। पावर BI में हम सीखेंगे कि इसको पावर BI में कनेक्ट कैसे करते हैं, हाउ डू वी क्रिएट रिपोर्ट्स, ठीक है। सो दैट्स अबाउट the life cycle of the data analysis project. So this is not Power BI project, this is a data analysis project. So I'll say data analysis, okay. So this is what we have, okay. With me so far, any questions guys? Sorry, I've been speaking for a while. I don't want to be, I don't want that to be like a one way session. So अगर कुछ questions है तो please ask, कुछ भी questions है तो पूछो, okay। कुछ नहीं समझा है या फिर कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है, फील फ्री टू आस्क, ओके। यहाँ पे सबको सब कुछ आना चाहिए एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है, जितना आपको क्वेश्चंस आएंगे उतना ज्यादा क्लियर होते जाएगा। कुछ भी क्वेश्चंस है अगर नहीं है तो दैट्स फाइन, बट डोंट शाई फ्रॉम आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस, ओके।
Hello.
हाँ योगेश्वरी।
Yeah. Sir, I have one query. इंडस्ट्री में अभी पावर BI ज़्यादा यूज़ कर रहे हैं या फिर ऑल अदर टूल्स?
तो अभी तो दे आर यूजिंग पावर BI a lot. There are reasons. So Power BI is promoting itself as a tool which is low in cost as compared to other, so like Tableau and other. So they have like huge so they have lower subscription rates as compared to other tools, मतलब उनका परचेज काफी सस्ता है as compared to other tools. So
Okay.
अभी तो it's on boom, I would say.
Okay. And I have heard about SSRS. So मुझे उसके बारे में कुछ मतलब डीप नॉलेज नहीं है, लेकिन ये भी एक टूल होता है, राइट, रिपोर्टिंग?
हाँ, SSRS is like Microsoft's tool for, so Power BI is also Microsoft tool. SSRS is also a Microsoft tool for reporting, ठीक है। SSRS and Power BI they use for same purpose, but SSRS is more technical. Power BI is for users who basically were, so it was introduced for users who don't have much technical knowledge. SSRS is like थोड़ा सा पुराना भी हो गया ये टूल, एंड it's like it's not used that much, I would think, but हाँ, it's like very similar to Power BI with limited functionalities.
Hello, sir. Is it
हाँ सर,
necessary to learn ETL thing for Power BI?
It's not. It's really not. ETL is very different from Power BI. मतलब अगर मैं आपको बोलूं कि मैं ये I talked about this data, right? तो अगर मैं ये डेटा आपको रेडीमेड दे देता हूँ, all you need to do is you need to learn Power BI to see how we can create visuals using this data. यहाँ से इस डेटा को इस फॉर्मेट में लेके आना is the job of a ETL process. तो I won't say कि ETL is really necessary. So the rules itself are different. तो Power BI का जो आपका इंडस्ट्री में आपको रोल मिलेंगे, उन रोल्स को बोलते हैं डेटा एनालिसिस या फिर रिपोर्टिंग एनालिस्ट, ऐसे कुछ, क्योंकि वो डेटा को एनालाइज कर रहे हैं. ETL के रोल जो होते हैं वो होते हैं डेटा इंजीनियर या फिर से डेटाबेस इंजीनियर और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर और स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो दोज आर द काइंड ऑफ रोल्स व्हिच आर देयर इन ETL. तो रोल्स डिफर करते हैं. सो पावर बीआई के लिए आपको ETL आने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है. एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस?
Hello. Yeah, Anuj, this is Mayank here.
Yes, Mayank.
Any idea about the compensation for a 13 years old experience while I move into this data analytics, SQL plus Power BI?
No. So basically, it depends on what the level of experience you have.
Yeah, just in the range. I mean, any tentative range for a 13 years of total work ex, a tentative range. Any idea about this?
Yeah, I would not be able to exactly predict because it's not all 13 years people generally work in Power BI. They have like 4 years of experience in Power BI and then they switch to another tool and stuff. But it's on the good range, I would say, at least 10 plus or something. I really don't know. I can't really answer that question. Sorry.
Okay. I know issue. Fine.
Okay. So this is all I had planned for, guys. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so I won't be able to walk you through the components of Power BI, but I hope this gives you a brief idea. मतलब क्या हम लोग करने वाले हैं पावर बीआई में, और हम लोग पावर बीआई कहाँ पे आता है ओवरऑल डेटा एनालिसिस में, डेटा इंजीनियरिंग के बाद आता है. आई होप दैट यू हैव दैट क्लैरिटी कि हम लोग क्यों करते हैं पावर बीआई एंड स्टफ, राइट? तो I hope this session was helpful for you. Any questions? Any questions on top of your mind? Please feel free to ask. So I'll maybe pull out name. If you don't have any questions, just say no. That's perfectly fine. So maybe I'll start with Amol. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. Avi, then do you have any questions? Okay, I'll consider it as a no. Rishi, do you have any questions? Okay. Okay, I think then Mayank, Sharayu, and Yogeshwar, you have asked your questions, right? So if there are no other questions, we can close this call. So that's all I had planned for today, guys. I hope you this session helps, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.